We got Bitcoin ripping up through 115. Ethereum heating up over 4,500. And all coins, they're firing up across the board. Is this the start of the breakout or the fake out? A bull trap before the Fed spoils the party and pulls the rug out from underneath us. That's always the concern with that creepy Fed governor. Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in crypto and Bitcoin action. If you like what you see, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. All right, let's get right into it. We got some good news for you guys. Let's just check out our first chart of the day. The don't close below chart. That's the one that we always like to point out because this 115.7 is a monster that we got to get through. But right now, Bitcoin's trading right at about 115,000 after pushing through resistance. The CPI data came in right on target. No surprises. That's given the bulls a slight green light. So we can actually say market structure has now slightly changed from neutral to slightly bullish, okay? Because we still could have a pullback to the 110. We're going to get all into that in a second. Right now, we got the intraday high at 116.3. Support sits right now back at 110 if we get any type of pullback. The key, as long as the Fed rate cuts stay on the table, risk assets like Bitcoin are in play. But if Powell or any other Fed speaker throws cold water on cuts, we could get a fast dip. So we got to be on our toes for that. Let's move on over to our famous 2-hour chart where we could break it all down. Here's our little 2-hour chart, and I got some news for you here about our pro trading community. I'm going to show it to you in a second, okay? Just sticking with the chart right now, as you can see, we came up to this peak right here. We blew through it. We blew through this short-term peak. Here's the only one that's remaining, the 117.3. However, the 115,000 neckline that I just showed you on the previous chart is a very, very important point. This point right here, that 115.7 is important. We're kind of slipping down through it right now at 14.9. It's okay. I mean, we looked at the buy area here. We had a strong buy area that took us up. We come back over to the 2-hour chart. We can see that we're still above this tine right here, which is very important. So we could get a pullback to like 114.3. Look how the marketplace respected these levels. The 113.5 acted as a nice support, as we said it should, and the market ripped up and actually came up to that 116.3. Now it's just, again, consolidating. Of course, there's profit taking because we came up, really, really close to the 117. So remember, I told you I'd have some news for the crypto trading community and, the trades that we call it. I'm going to show you something right here. Best way to showcase our pro group is to actually show you one of the prizes, okay? And here it is. Let's open this up so you can see it better. What a pain in the neck to open this up. Let's go. Let's make sure you see it large, okay? Can you see that? We got the crew long at 110,000. The market price at the time that we got this 95.14% up was 115,232. This is why I say you should get into our pro group. Doesn't cost anything. Okay, you have to just deposit money in WeX, the broker of our choice, low fees, fast execution. And you could trade with us. You don't have to. But if you participate, and a lot of people did, they were very, very happy when we were at 115.2, and it's very, very close to that price right now. So it's not like it's further away, but they're still long this trade, which is great for them. Great for them because they're actually following the technical analysis that we're putting out. So hey, well, if we look at the breakout, let's go back to that breakout chart. The breakout is playing out perfectly. We had every bullish crossover that sparked a rally. We saw it. We gave the signal. This time the setup is playing out like clockwork. Signals in, the entry's live as I just showed you at the 110. Next stop, we're thinking we got vertical candles on the horizon. So you know the script and you know who to follow. I'm telling you, what is it? You could deposit €100. I think you can even deposit as low as €20. I'm not sure, but I mean, get in the pro community, man. We're trying to help you out, and we're giving you all the tools that you need. We know that Bitcoin, like the phase 3 script, is unfolding, and we showed you this before. Accumulation phase. It's where the legends buy. Manipulation always happens. Sorry to say, does happen. Retail gets wrecked in it. Distribution, parabolic markup begins. We're entering stage 3, the phase where portfolios are going to go parabolic. Weak hands panic. The strong hands are going to profit. We showed you this chart the other day. We know that Bitcoin is repeating the script of accumulation, shakeout, and expansion. Accumulation, shakeout, expansion. Accumulation, shakeout, expansion. Accumulation, shakeout. Where the legends are buying the dip. They bought here too. They also buying down here, averaging their costs. Expansion. We're right here. Okay, we're right there. This is where things basically, you got RSI that has been oversold, has always been the ignition on this. And it just flashed and oversold again. This is the moment that legends add. They don't panic here. And actually, we jumped in with them. Okay, so we got in at a decent price at 110. We're sitting pretty on that trade right now. So, like I said, I don't know any stronger way to try to get you to get into the pro group. Look, as obviously it's you got free will, you do whatever you want to do. But really, if you really are going to show you an Ethereum trade that we got on for the group as well, in the next second. Now let's go on over to Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is actually holding strong. Right now, just slightly above 4,500. It sits right now basically holding strong above 45. It's up about 2% in the last 24 hours. Resistance sits at 4,600 to 4,700 with the big psychological level at 5K. Now, while Ethereum's climbing, some institutional data shows outflows from the ETH investment, Ethereum investment product, meaning traders are taking profits while retail is starting to pile in. That's good. The divergence is worth keeping an eye on because Ethereum could lag a little bit if Bitcoin starts to steal the show on the breakout. Now, as we said, we looked at this chart, okay? We had MACD that actually flipped green, 3 years of coil pressure, ready to detonate. Monthly candle says one word, that it's going to be bullish. We're in it. Clear 4,600 and Ethereum is going to go parabolic. This is where legends front run and tourists are going to chase this. We said it. We saw it. We did something about it in the pro group. Right now, we got a trade running right now, long Ethereum. Okay. Now that's our big trade. I got to look. Where's my little trade that I got on Ethereum? Hang on a second. Oh, my bad. That's the exact trade that we put them in. Sorry. I thought that we had another Ethereum short-term trade on. I thought we did. I must be mistaken. But I'm going to take you over to WeX right now, the broker of our choice. Low fees, fast execution, show you everything, warts and all, total transparency. Low fees, fast execution, no slippage. All right, so here's the trade that we got actually our pro group in, and this is a trade that we've been carrying. All right, so 4,348.88 long. Okay, right now up 82.16%. Market price 4,527. Above the 5 is a good thing. Okay, H bar. We've had this trade on. We know you if you've been following us for a while. You know we went through some drawdown with this, but now it's back up slightly in our favor. We're thinking that H bar is going to be the one that runs. There's actually some news on H bar. Make sure you go check out our X and go find it. Some great news for H bar. All right, so if we come back on over to Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum is rewriting the script itself. We know we had retail laughing at 1,500. They doubted at 2,200. They really didn't even pay attention at 4,000. Now the chart is screaming to 5 digits. So 10K in Ethereum isn't a maybe, it's inevitable. Cycles repeat, but this time ETFs and Wall Street are going to fuel the fire in Ethereum. So make sure, I'm telling you guys, just get into the pro group. We'll help you. We'll get you through it. And maybe we'll score some big profits together. So now we're leading into altcoin season. It's not full blown yet, but it's starting. If we come on over and we look at Bitcoin dominance, it's below 58. Well, slightly below 58. It's 57.96 right now, so slightly below it. So it's actually starting to actually show that altcoin season is getting ready to hit, start to heat up. If we look at the total three of altcoins, this is an interesting chart. We had the top in 2018. We had a bottom at 2021. We had a top in at 2022. So now here we go. We got the bottom in 2025. The pattern is textbook. Every bottom has been the ignition point for alt season manias. The difference this time, liquidity is deep. The players are bigger. If you're fading this, you're volunteering to be exit liquidity. Now we got altcoins buzzing. Okay, so if you look, we got XRP, that's back above the 3 psychological level. The gatekeeper is 307, and XRP hasn't been able to punch through that yet. It came close yesterday. I think it got up to like 305. Then it's like slightly cooled off a little bit. You got Solana. You even got Dogecoin catching fresh bids, and we're seeing momentum spill over into real-world asset tokens. But let's be clear: when Bitcoin, is pressing resistance, alts can either explode higher, or they get smacked down a bit if Bitcoin actually stalls. So we got to make sure we keep our, stops tight, because this, like, really what we're looking at is where volatility lives. It's starting to happen, okay? And really we got a target coming up in here for the altcoin versus Bitcoin. So we can actually see altcoins starting to dominate a little bit, but we're still waiting. We're still not completely clear yet. If we see the Bitcoin dominance drop below, like say 57.25 or so, and Bitcoin is still holding up right around 116,000, you could be sure that other altcoins are running pretty well. So if we look at dominance or altcoin dominance in a different way, 2017 actually showed us the blueprint. Okay, collapse, reversal, parabolic run. Okay, so 2025 is actually replaying the same exact cycle, but this time the fuel is deeper liquidity. We got ETFs and global adoption in these things. It's a totally different game, man. It's a totally different game than yesterday. Okay, so don't trade yesterday's trade. Think about where we are right now as we stand right here today. It's a lot of big players that are involved in this, and they're trying to grab coin, and they're trying because they know the projects that are going to come out. So, just like I said, we talk about this stuff all the time in the pro group. Get in there. It doesn't cost anything except for a deposit into EX. All right. So really the translation that we have here is the rotation is going to be louder, bigger than ever. All right. Now, before we wrap up, crew, I want to make sure that you're well aware of this community I'm alluding to. All the links are in the description. You click this link right here, and you'll be taken over to our Telegram site where you can join up for the pro group. All right, we drop insane alpha trading opportunities daily, breakout setups, long-term gems. We got you covered in this group. Now, you want to just follow our trades. You don't want our advice. That's cool. You're already a seasoned trader. You're making 400%, every year. Great. Wonderful. If you just want a really good broker, you click this link right here. You get a 20% deposit bonus, and you'll be taken over to WeX, the broker of our choice. Low fees, fast execution, no slippage. Everything you could want in a broker. All right. Now, also, I got one more chart for you guys. I got one more altcoin chart for you guys I want to show you. We got the altcoin golden setup that is loading right now. 4 years of higher lows. Resistance has now flatlined. This coil is actually springing tighter every week, and whales see it, but we're pointing it out to retail. Don't ignore this, because when it rips, portfolios don't move. They create millionaires overnight. So make sure you're well aware of this setup that's brewing right now. I think we're the only ones that are pointing this out. I'm sure other people will steal it from us, but that's cool. No problem. So right now, if we really look at Bitcoin itself, the market's at an inflection point. Bitcoin's knocking on the door at 116,000. Ethereum is aiming to break out of that 5K, getting set for 6. Break 5, we're looking at 6. We get some pullback perhaps, and then we rocket to at least 7,000 in this coin. So really, just stay on your toes. Stay on your toes. All right, right now. So the big question is, can the bulls hold the line? Or will macro data pull the rug? If the Fed comes in and says something stupid, okay, we got to start all over again. But we're used to it. So make sure that you come on over to X, you follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. And remember, always, always, always give us a like, give us a subscribe, share us with your friends. But what do you got to do? Well, you got to think about joining our pro group. Second thing you got to do, well, you got to do your own research if you decide not to, because we help you out with the research. Third thing you got to do, you got to trade with your head and not over it. And as a short-term trader, you have to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.